I'm gonna show you guys what the overall account is sitting at. All right, 90,355. Nope, we're currently at $91,451.81. What's going on, YouTube? It's O'Neil from Tapton with O'Neil. Another week, another $1,000. Y'all already know what happened this week. Rate cuts. And the question of the day is, how green was your week? Because I know everybody had a green week. If you didn't have a green week, I don't know what to tell you. But I think everybody had a green week with these rate cuts. I ain't gonna waste too much time. We're gonna hop straight into it. Go to our $1,000 deposit, then deep dive into the portfolio on the mobile version of the app. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. Yeah, I ain't gonna waste your time. Let's get straight into it. Tapped in. Stay tapped in. All right, so as you guys can see, the portfolio is sitting at $81,682.72. This is all in the individual investing account. We're currently up $116.58 on the day. It's currently the weekend, so only crypto is trading, as you guys know. Man, let's just go through the week, see how we did on the week. We up $2,850.37. That's 3.62 gain on the week. See how we doing on the month. Up $12,000, $12,194.66 on the month. Let's see the past 3 months. See what we're doing on past 3 months. We're up $26,123.50. That's a 47% gain. Year to date. So some of you guys been asking what the year to date is. Currently up $8,543.24. And this did fluctuate up and down. The reason being, you guys know we did take a massive drop and loss in the portfolio, but we recovered and we're doing better than ever. And let's see what the year is like. Year is up $19,321.30. All right. So as you guys can see, we have a buying power of $25,000. Now the reason we got a buying power now is because we got assigned our MSTU puts. If you don't recall, we did sell a MSTU put, so at the $6 price range, and MSTU did not go above that price range, so we're back in margin. I think we were out of margin for about 2 weeks, so we're back in. And I showed you guys how I handled margin, and we're gonna do the same thing. Same thing we did with TSLL, Tesla, the leverage fund that tracks Tesla, is the same thing we're gonna do with MSTR, the leverage fund that tracks MSTR. So you guys can see we're back at zero cash. Margin total is at $52,611.73. Margin currently used is at $21,911.12. And we got an option collateral of $5,000, pending order of $154, and a futures buying power of $9,255.66. We got a margin buffer of $9,331.16. So we're looking good on the buffer. So let's not waste no time. Get straight into the mobile deposit. Hold on, let me just check. All right, we're good. All right, so we're gonna do our $1,000 deposit. Review transfer. Transfer $1,000. Continue with standard. And the gold thing is up. Did we get any gold? Did they announce the winners for the gold? All right, all right. Pause. Let's see what the account is sitting at now. All right, now we're currently sitting at $82,667.668.03. So our buying power went up $2,000. As you guys know, every time I deposit $1,000 into this account, Robinhood allows me to borrow $2,000 of their money. So margin total went up $1,000, so we're sitting at $53,611.73. Margin used decreased; it went down $1,000, so we're sitting at $20,911.12. Option collateral is still the same at negative $5,000. Pending order is still the same, and then we got an extra $1,000 of future buying power. So let's go ahead and dive into the mobile version of the app. So stay tapped in with me, and we're gonna deep dive into exactly what happened this week. All right, we're in the mobile version of the app. As I said, buying power is at 27,000. And we got 3 option plays right now. As I said, most of our option plays got closed out. We got a lot of different things. I'm gonna probably make a separate video talking specifically about my option plays, because it's a lot more sophisticated, the things that I did as far as my options. But we gained a lot. That's what I'm gonna say. We gained a lot This week we made experimental positions. And shout out to my guy Eric. He's gonna probably be in the comments, so I'm gonna put the link to his channel in the description below. But he kind of gave me a play as far as the what is it, cash secured puts, or no, not cash secured puts, credit spread. I think it was called a credit spread, and we made some decent money. Uh, it was a nice experimental thing, something I was looking into before, but the thing with the credit spreads, they're a little bit harder to get filled. But if you can get filled, you can make a lot of profit from them. So you guys can see crypto's been lagging a little bit behind still. But going into stocks and ETFs, TSLL is doing what it does. Tesla just still running up, doing what it does. We still got 8 shares of Tesla, currently up $62, which is cool. Now we do have 4,500 shares of MSTU. That's because we took the assignment, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. We're currently up $1,429.52 with an average cost of $5.13. So we're up on that. We have $24,000 locked into this position, and that was all through the option play. So we're going to be looking to sell covered calls on this. I'm probably going to do it a little bit further out of the money because I learned from Tesla with that crazy run up that Tesla had. I want to make sure I capture more of the upside while protecting a little bit on the downside. So I'll probably sell 500 shares closer to the money, and then the rest of $4,000 shares, or the 4,000 shares, I'm just going to just sell it further out of the money, so I make sure I capture more of that upside and we don't lose out on our profit. So the active contracts that we have, we got $5,000 of collateral. We rolled out the MSTU put, $5 put. We got 10 contracts. And how much did we make for that? I'll look into it. But we also still have this buy call at the $4.5 strike price, still active until October 24th. Let's see how that's doing. Up $6 total. So not too much, not doing too much right now. We gotta wait for more of a run up from MSTU. Kind of had some signs of pumping up this week, but it also went back down. And then the MSTU put, I'm comfortable selling this as long as I could buy MSTU at the $5 strike price. I'm not mad at that. I won't be mad at that. So we got a total return of $50. Um, and we'll see how that performs. Wait, hold on. Let me check. Did we get paid out? Oh yeah, so we got paid out $150 to roll the position and extend it for the following week, and I was completely fine with that. So let's look at this. So this is the put assignment that we took, and then we exercised the MSTU put at the $5.5 strike price. And then you guys see that credit spread. We lost a lot. Well, not a lot. We lost a decent bit of our profits in the credit spread. I should have closed out a little bit earlier. I'll, as I said, I'll mention this in a separate video when I dive into more of the option plays. But with this credit spread, I lost more of the upside. I should have closed out on Thursday. We had a crazy run up on Thursday, and I'll probably show you guys some of my profits over here and what my account looked like from that one day. So the next day, which was Friday, the MSTU kind of had some pullback. I'll show you guys what that looked like on the graph. So yeah, you see this crazy run up from MSTU, went up as high as 587, and then they started dropping down. You see the sellers just kicking in and pushing it down, and it had a little bit of a recovery, but it didn't quite get back to that $5.87 range. And I should have closed it out. I was in some crazy profits, but hey, I can't be mad. We still made money, and we only opened up that trade, or we only risked probably about $320, and we captured more of the upside. So I'll show you guys. See, our realized profit is $936.01, and we only had to risk $320 to open up that trade. So it was a nice play. I could have captured more of that upside. That could have been like a 3K play, but hey, I just didn't close it out. So it was a learning experience. Like I said, shout out to my guy Eric for encouraging me to get back into credit spreads. As I said, they're a little bit harder to get filled when the market opens up, but if you can get filled, you will make some decent bit of money if you pick in the right position and right play. And as I said, I'll dive into that more when we touch on the option play video that I'm going to be making this week. I'll probably make that right after that. So we also had a $5 call. What is this? Realized profit -30. So I'm not sure what that's about, but But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as MSTU. Um, Tesla still doing what it does, having a nice run up. Oh my gosh, up nearly $500, like $496.17 to be exact. That's crazy. And we're still going to be expecting a nice dividend payout. Let's see when that is going to be. The last one was September 5th, so probably in about 2 weeks. We'll be expecting another payout from Misty, Ulti. Well, not Misty, Tesla. Misty, uh, currently down $1,600. I think last week it was around 1,800. So it's slowly climbing back. As I said, it still had that pullback. It had a nice pump and then had some pullback. But hopefully Misty can continue to recover and do what it does. Still going to be expecting that nice dividend payout. Ulti, our weekly pair, still paying us weekly. I do not reinvest back into these funds. Currently down $555.55. Currently holding 1,100 shares and with an average cost of $6.17. We get paid out almost like $100, $100 to $99 on a weekly basis, depending on what the breakdown is. I'll show you guys the breakdown. This week it was $9, 9 cents, 9 cents, 20. Yeah, it was basically 9 cents. I'm not gonna break down that decimal point math and all that stuff, but 9 cents again this week. Will Ulti get back to that 10 cents? I don't know, man. I don't know. It still has to do a lot of recovering, but I'm completely fine with it. And everybody has a different purpose when it comes to the yield max funds. As I said last week, I'm not really diving in or reinvesting back into these yield max funds because I am gearing towards and pivoting, um, because I'm getting closer to my 100K. So when I get closer to this 100K, I can use my money a lot differently. I'm okay with collecting $100 a week from this fund, and in addition to the other funds that pay me monthly or weekly, whatever the case may be, I'm okay with whatever range they pay me. I think it totals up to about 1,800 a month, $1,800 a month in passive income between um, all these yield max funds and including the round hill fund PLTW. I think it totals up to about $1,800 a month that I'm making. If I can make that passively, I'm not mad, but I'm more so um, active on the options trading side myself rather than paying somebody to do it for me. I'm understanding it, and if you know what you're doing, I would encourage you to also trade options. So YMAX is another weekly pair, is currently at 12.94. So went back over our average cost, showing signs of recovery, showing signs of life. Let's see how much we got paid out this week. So another $13 payout this week. That's a $12, 12.8, well, 0.1289 cents per share. We only hold about 101 shares. That's YMAX. Coney. Let's see what Coney did. Still down $456. Definitely showing signs of recovery though. Definitely. I think last week it was around $6. So can't be mad at that. I'm not sure when the dividend payout is going to be. Probably about 2-3 weeks. And then for Hui, we got a payout from Hui, $154 to be exact. Let's show you the breakdown on that. That was a nice dividend payout, $3.86 per share, man. I love it. I love it. We got reinvestment on this. We got 40 shares currently holding 40 shares. Got a total return of $48.22. So that's Hui. PLTW, you guys know this is a dark horse. This one, it really does its things. We are currently back at $50. Average cost is at $45.42. Currently holding 52 shares, and we're up $238.76. Man, man. And then you guys know we still do have this active contract that we bought on PLTW. Bought a $42 call, and it's look at how much we're up on this call. $635 on this call. That's a 317% gain. I don't know, guys. Let me know. Should I close this out or should I wait for the projected next 25 basis point rate cut? Set around October time. But this call app, I bought is performing really good. If you guys bought this call, also let me know. Like I'm telling you guys, man, it's beautiful. I'm starting to get into the buy call side, and I'm glad I took that experimental position or trying that experiment on Tesla with the TSLL shares, buying a call on it so I could at least understand this buying call side of options trading. And you guys, some person in the comments said, "Oh, it looks like I'm gambling." Gambling. I risk as much as I was willing to lose. If you're risking as much as you're willing to lose to not only just gain profits but actually to learn what you're doing, it's not gambling. It's actually a learning process. So that's what I took it as, and that's what it's doing. So I've been buying a lot more calls. Definitely make sure you know what you're doing and make sure you're buying the right calls, because not all calls that you're going to buy are going to be profitable. So yeah, Gemini is declining. I don't know what's going on. We're currently down $4. I was just holding on to it. I could have closed out when it launched, but I wanted to hold on to it, see what it did when they announced rate cuts. Currently down $4. I'm just gonna hang on to it. Let's go into the traditional IRA. Had an interesting week with the traditional IRA. As you guys can see, we have a buying power of $4,643.20. That is because we closed out our TSLL trades. So we got rid of, I think we had 300 shares of TSLL, but we took a loss on this. Oh, excuse me. We took a loss on the option play because when Tesla had that run up, we still was selling cover calls at the um $15 strike price. Yeah, we selling cover calls at the $15 strike price. And then we get gains a little bit from rolling $63, $66 on the initial call out. But we got our money back out of TSLL. Just wish we could have benefited more from that run up. So we just lost out on some of the profits from the upside. So I'll show you guys a little bit of a breakdown on what that looks like. So it's going to say negative $700. That's just how much money we could have benefited from had we sold it at the right strike price. It's not necessarily money that we lost. Same thing, on the month down $1,200. It's not money that we lost. It's money that we could have gained. So that's how you got to look at it when you're selling cover calls, because this is money that we got back. Money that we put in, we just didn't benefit that much from the upside. Tech L had a nice run up. We currently at 5 shares now, up $170. That's a 39.69% gain. I'm also thinking about dropping this $4,600. Is it $4,600? Yeah, $4,600 in buying power, and just dropping it in Tech L and seeing what happens when and if they announce another 25 basis point rate cut in October, because these gains are insane. And I want to step away from the traditional IRA because I find it a little bit harder to manage all three of these portfolios at one time. But hey, I'm doing it. Roth IRA sitting at $3,461. We got $3.37 in buying power. We are boosting our shares. We're sitting at 62 shares of SCHD. JetQ is at 24 shares, nearly at 25. SCHG is at 10 shares. And they're all relatively doing good, all relatively doing really good, so can't complain. SCHD might be lagging behind a little bit. Still a gain though. Remember, this portfolio is geared towards dividend, basically retirement, making sure that I don't have to rely on Social Security. And the snowball keeps growing, this portfolio, over time. At some point, I do want to make sure I max this out throughout the year. I know I've been saying that, but there's a plan for it. So let's go ahead and see and dive into the overall account. There's a little bit of a surprise for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys what the overall account is sitting at. All right, 90,355. Nope, we're currently at $91,451.81. If you told me I was gonna hit 90K, I think last week we was just at 87. And this is not even the highest it's been. This went to, I'll show you a screenshot of what it went to. Went to $93,000. It's currently sitting at $91,000, bro. We're 9K away from our first 100K, man. Yo, if y'all been rocking with me and been on this journey with me, I appreciate y'all. To everybody that's new, tuned in, like, yo, this is what we do. It's crazy to see this growth. We're closing in at on 100K, and it's just a beautiful sight to see. Like, I've been putting in so much work behind the scenes. I've been doing, like, y'all see it, like, our weekly $1,000 deposits. It's not easy, man. Having this level of discipline is not easy, but I'm doing it. I'm making it possible. I'm trying to make people understand that, hey, it doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from. what cards you dealt. If you want to win, you're gonna win. Straight up like that. It doesn't matter. So many people that came in my comments and told me, "Hey, you don't know what you're doing," and this, that. Yo, if you listen to them people, you ain't gonna get nowhere. I'm blessed with the mindset and the fortitude of my mind to know like what I'm capable of, tapped into my full potential. Well, this is not even my full potential, but I just tapped into my potential and knowing what I'm capable of doing. Going from 30K starting out and then just growing and growing and making 5K a month from trading options, and then to lose 30 bands this year. We lost 30 bands this year and we still got it back, and we still on our way to 100K, man. It's a beautiful sight to see, man. I words can't express it. I really don't know, man. 9K away, bro. The countdown is real. We scale into that six figures and we doing it fast. And we learning on the fly. We had no guidance, nobody telling us to do this and that. This is just me. You guys been watching me try things out, seeing if they work. Sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't, but the beauty is trying it out to know for yourself. Obviously you're gonna have money to play, but don't get it wrong. Don't think you need a crazy amount of money. It doesn't matter what job you work. I know some guys curious to what I do for work, but I want you to understand that it starts with your mind. It doesn't matter what you're making. I've been doing this for years. I've been investing for over 6 years. I've been putting in the work. Success has receipts. It has receipts. If you have the habits and the mindset, you're gonna know what to do when the time comes. Because, at the end of the day, all this money could get taken away from me today, but the knowledge, and the wherewithal that I gained, everything that I gained from this journey, it can't be taken away. I'm in the top 10% in the world right now. That's crazy to say. I'm in the top 10% in the world right now, man. And it doesn't feel like it, but the next step is maintaining my spot within this top 10%, staying on this trajectory, this upwards trajectory. And if you guys are wondering how I'm in the top 10% at my age with my net worth, I do have things outside of this portfolio. I do have other portfolios. I'm not gonna share those with you guys. You guys do know about my Cash App portfolio. I might dive into that a little bit later, but yeah, I do have other portfolios and things going on outside of this. But I just want you guys to focus on that. I want to keep some things a little bit private. But yeah, it's been a journey. You guys stay with me on this journey. I guarantee you guys, it's gonna be worth it. The things that we both gonna be able to learn together. All of us. I appreciate everybody joining up on Discord. You guys know, so I drop some of my plays. Give you guys a little bit of updates. Make sure y'all talk, man. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how y'all feel. What y'all portfolios did this week, and yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post bell notifications, join up on the Discord. Everything is free until I hit 100K. Discord is still gonna be free, but if you guys want some, inside game, I'm gonna probably have to charge you guys a little bit of service. But because we're coming up on 100K, I might delay it a little bit, specifically like coaching calls and things of that nature. But make sure you guys take advantage and take full advantage now. Hit me up on Instagram, join up on a Discord, talk to me, man. I'm a social person, so nothing's gonna hurt. I'm not Hollywood or anything. It may take me a little bit to get back to you, but I always respond to everybody, even if you comment in below. I respond to every comment. So yeah, without further ado, it's Tapped on O'Neal, and I'm signing out.